Hey everyone, in this video we're going to walk you through a complete installation of the Signature Classic collection. If you're working with any of our other Signature Series collections, like Signature Midnight or Signature Select, you can follow along with this tutorial as well. Just make sure you're following the stainless steel handrail instructions when it comes to cutting and tapping for the Signature Select collection. Today we're installing Signature Classic in white on a beautiful lakeside deck right here in our hometown of Winona Lake, Indiana. Whether this is your first time installing or you just need a refresher, you're in the right place. Every collection within our Signature series is installed in three main phases: posts, handrail, and infill, meaning your tensioners, cable, and spacer bars. We're going to walk through each phase in detail, step by step, starting with the posts. If we sent you a layout for your project, feel free to pull that up now. If you didn't request an estimate, we recommend placing a tensioning post every 20 feet on a level run for proper cable tension, and a two-way or line post every 6 to 7 feet for solid handrail support. Along with those guidelines, we also recommend cable support every 4 feet. You can easily accomplish that with a line post, or better yet, a spacer bar, which has a much more minimal profile. Posts are the backbone of your system, so it's important to place them accurately. Start by referencing your layout and placing your posts in rough locations. Check the mounting location for each post and confirm that you have the proper blocking in place. If you're not sure what blocking is or how to install it, hit the link in the top right corner or in the description below to see the steps we took to prepare this deck. Once your layout and blocking are squared away, grab a chalk line and tape measure to mark post locations on your deck surface, making sure that your mounting screws are going into the rim joist or blocking instead of the non-structural rim board. A great place to start is with your stairs if you have them. We are still in the process of blocking and repairing our stairs, so we started on this level run. The easiest way to mark the location of each post on your level run is to create a line from each tensioning post placement. Take a chalk line and create that mark. Once you have this line, mark each mounting location with an X and check again for proper blocking. Without securing your posts, place them on each X and use a taut string line at the base to check that each post is in line. Make adjustments as needed and use painter's tape to mark your final locations. Continue this same process for all of your level posts, referencing your layout to confirm post types and ensuring that they're in line and square to each other. Also, I have to say it because it happens more than you'd think, make sure the tensioning side of each post is facing in the direction you want the cables to run. With your posts in place, we will use a taut string line to check that all of the tops are level. If any post sits lower than the rest, use additional post leveling plates to raise them until they are level with the other posts. For this install, we're using top mount posts only. Each one comes with mounting hardware. We will also be using a post leveling plate to help us protect the deck surface as we plumb our posts. For tools, you'll need a drill, impact driver, a 3/16 drill bit for your pilot holes, and a T30 power bit to drive the post mounting screws. We'll start by drilling a small dimple through our post leveling plate. You can also use chalk shot to mark your screw holes. Remove the leveling plate or post and drill pilot holes at each mark with a 3/16 bit. Pre-drilling here is important. It helps prevent splitting the deck board or blocking. Once that's done, drop the leveling plate and post back into place, then use the impact driver to drive in the post mounting screws. Snug is good, but don't over tighten. If you notice that one or some of your holes end up on a seam, pre-drill the holes that are on the level surface. Secure those screws, then come back and pre-drill and secure the last screw. Next, use the built-in post leveling screws at the base of the post to bring it to plumb. Use a 3/16 Allen wrench and a level to advance the leveling screws to plumb your post. If needed, slightly back out your post mounting screws. Once the post is plumb in both directions, we'll fully tighten the mounting screws and set the cover plate in place. We will repeat this process for all of our level posts. Now let's work on our stair posts. We're working with two different stair configurations. On the lake-facing side, we're using a setup with top and bottom of stair posts with pivoting tops. This configuration will not require any hinges and will separate the level railing from the stair railing. If you're not sure which stair configuration works best for your project, don't worry, we've got a separate video that breaks down all the options. You can hit the link in the top right corner to watch that video. Stair post placement is a bit more precise than level runs because of code. You can't have a gap larger than 6 inches in the lower triangle formed by the stair tread, riser, and bottom cable. To dial in your post placement, grab a string line and pull it taut with your inflection points. Here, that would be the bottom tensioning holes of your top and bottom stair posts. Adjust both the top and bottom posts until the line clears the stair nosing and keeps that lower triangle small enough that a 6-inch sphere could not pass through. Make small tweaks until it's just right. Here we won't be installing stair line posts, but for demonstration purposes, you would use a string line and run it across both pivot tops to place your stair line posts. Now we can mount our stair posts following the same process as we did for the level posts. At this point, all of our posts are mounted and ready for handrail installation. Let's start with level handrails. Start by finding the post top location for your first end post. Align the edge of the handrail drill guide and template flush with the end of a piece of handrail and clamp it in place. Next, attach the post top to the stick of handrail. Remove the post top collar from the center pin using an 1/8 inch Allen wrench. Leave the set screw sticking out just a bit to keep the collar from spinning inside the template while drilling. Drop the collar into the template and rotate it so the holes form a square like this. Use a center punch or 11/64 bit to mark your first pilot hole. Remove the collar and template, drill your hole, and then replace both so you can drive in your first mounting screw with a 5/32 inch driver. From there, drill and drive in the remaining 3 screws. We'll continue this process with every post until we need a new stick of handrail. With the post tops installed, we're ready to connect the next stick of handrail using a fixed straight spline. Slide the spline into the end of the rail until the dimple is flush with the edge. You can gently tap it in with a rubber mallet if needed. Sometimes, you might need to file down the ribs on the inside of the handrail to advance the spline. On the bottom side of the handrail, drill a 1-inch deep pilot hole with a 5/32 bit. Tap it using a 1024 tap and drive in a 1024 by 1/2 inch set screw using a 3/32 Allen wrench. Normally, you would slide the other stick of handrail on the exposed end of the spline and repeat the drilling and tapping steps to secure it. If you have a long, straight run, continue this process down the run, adding splines and post tops as you go. Because we have a corner coming up, we'll first need to make a cut on our handrail and create a corner transition. Some of the corners on this deck aren't perfect 90s, so we'll need to make custom angles using our adjustable horizontal splines. Start by finding the length of your handrail by measuring to the center of the post top on the corner post. Mark that spot on your handrail. Next, you'll need to find the angle of your corner. We used a miter cut protractor to get the exact angle of our cuts. We're using a bandsaw with a non-ferrous metal blade to make this cut. Go slow, and as always, wear gloves and eye protection. After the cut, clean up the edges with a file and add painter's tape to cover your powder-coated handrail finish, leaving the cutoff end exposed. Spray the exposed end with touch-up paint for a nice, clean finish. To assemble the spline, use the included number 8 by 3/4 inch screws and a Phillips head to drive the first screw in. We found that using a 5/32 drill bit to widen the pre-drilled holes makes it much easier to advance your screws. Use an angle finder to set the spline to the same angle as your corner. Lock it in place by drilling and then driving the second screw into the other pre-drilled hole. To secure the handrail, follow the same process as we did with the fixed straight spline. Drill and tap your set screw holes and drive in the screws. The only difference here would be to flip the other stick of handrail so your miter cuts align flush with each other. After your corner spline is secure, attach your post top and check to make sure it's in the right position for your run. At this point, we're going to connect our corner to the fixed straight spline from earlier. For 90-degree corners, the process is a little easier. Measure to the far side of the corner post, mark your handrail, and use a speed square to draw a 45-degree angle for your miter cut. Cut along that line, insert your fixed spline, and tap it into place. Drill a 3/4 inch deep pilot hole, tap it, and drive in your set screw like we did before. Flip the cut-off piece to complete the corner and repeat the process. Once everything's connected, align the handrail on the post and trace the post collar location. Then connect the post top, securing these 2 screws first to keep the handrail from gapping. Once you've secured these screws, you can now advance the other 2. For the last post on your level run, measure the distance between your posts. You'll measure from the end of your handrail to the far side of the last end post and subtract 1/8 of an inch. Mark that spot on the last stick of handrail and make your cut. Once you file down the burrs, spray the touch-up paint, and secure your post top, add the end cap to finish the run. At this point, get some extra hands and lift up the handrail assembly and carefully drop it into place. Secure all of the post top collars with the 1/8 inch Allen wrench. Let's talk about handrail on stairs. Like I mentioned before, we've got 2 stair configurations. The first is the most common top of stair pivot top to bottom of stair pivot top setup. To prep, remove the center pin and post collar from each pivot top using a 3/16 Allen wrench. Then adjust the pivot tension with an 1/8 inch Allen wrench. Reattach everything so it moves freely but doesn't move without force. To determine the location of the bottom post top, clamp the handrail drill guide to a fresh stick of handrail flush to the end. Remove the collar, insert it into the template, and align the holes. Secure it using the same method as before. Next, lay your handrail in place and align it between both pivot tops. Use a straight edge and a speed square to mark the underside of the handrail where it intersects the rear face of the top of stair post. Cut it, reclamp the drill guide, and finish by securing the pivot top head back on the post. To do this, follow the same process that we showed for the stationary post top. Now we just need to repeat the same process on the other side of our stairs, and then we'll move on to the other stair configuration on the deck. Our other setup uses a stair corner hinge and the same bottom of stair post with a pivoting top. We will start by clamping the guide to the handrail, this time flipping it upside down on the top. Mark and drill 2 7/32 inch pilot holes and tap them with a 1/4 20 tap. Attach the hinge with the included socket head cap screws, making sure the pivot faces down toward the stairs. After that, slide this part C onto the pivot screw and loosely secure it with a nut. Next, you'll need to find the post top location on your bottom stair post. Align the handrail drill guide with the edge of your new stick of handrail and clamp it in place. Follow the process from earlier to secure the post top in a square formation. The next step is to find and mark the spot we need to cut our handrail at. Put the post top back on the center pin at the bottom and align the handrail over the hinge at the top like this. Mark the handrail where it meets the inside of the hinge rim. Make your cut here. After you make your cut, file the burrs and add touch-up paint. Slide the cut side of the handrail onto the hinge. Place the bottom post top back onto the center pin and lock it in place using the 1/8 inch Allen wrench. From here, you would secure all of your line post tops if you had them on your project. Since we don't have any on this run, we'll move on to the next step. The final step on this stair run is to slide in your end caps. Just a quick note, if you are installing Signature Select and you notice that your end caps have a loose fit, try applying a thin bead of exterior grade silicone caulk to both long sides of the end cap. This can help keep it in place. With handrail and post done, we're in the home stretch and ready to add our tensioners, cables, and spacer bars. Start by installing the tensioners into the pre-threaded holes on each post. Hand thread it first, and then transition to the cable bullet driver and a 7/16 socket wrench to align the bullets. For stairs, the top set screw channel should be facing at the 12 o'clock position, whereas the bottom will face 6 o'clock. This will help the set screw channel become more accessible. For level runs, orient the set screw channel to your preferred direction. To find the length of your cable, measure the run in between tensioning posts and use the cable cutter to cut rough lengths, leaving a few extra inches. Add a lobed washer and crimp sleeve to one end of the cable and crimp the sleeve twice with the crimper tool set to the number 8 die setting. You should see a clear number 8 impression on both crimps when done right. Apply a drop of Bow Shield T9 into the set screw channel on each tensioner to prevent corrosion and make installation smoother. Be careful not to get any T9 on your wood deck boards. Insert the crimped end into the tensioner and advance the set screw with a 3/32 Allen wrench until it's flush with the face of the tensioner. Thread the uncrimped end of the cable through all line posts and spacer bars. Pull your cable hand tight and mark it 1 inch past the receiving tensioner face. Use 3/4 inch painter's tape to mark this point and make your final cut. Repeat the crimping and installation process for this end. Once you have all of your cables connected for the run, start tensioning from the center out using your 3/32 Allen wrench. A properly tensioned cable will deflect about 1/4 inch per foot under a 50-pound load. It should feel like a bass guitar string and not a piano wire. At this point, you can slide all of your spacer bars to the location shown in your project layout or following the 4-foot spacing rule. Make sure that each one is perpendicular to your stair treads, then tighten both set screws. Continue this process for each run on your railing. And that's it! Your Signature Classic Collection install is complete. Posts, handrail, and cable infill. Everything should be tight, level, and secure. Take a few minutes to double check your work and give the rails a quick wipe down. If you run into any issues or just have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We've got a great support team and tons of resources at cablebullet.com. Thanks for watching and congrats on completing your install. Enjoy the view.